Thank you for making the time yesterday. In this video, I will pick up from where we left off, which is the work plan section. So basically what the work plan is, it's a way to plan your work based on priority and to also ensure visibility across your team, to have a view of what everyone is working on, how far they are, their status updates, do they have any notes on the tasks and so forth. So the work plan gives you all of that. And beyond that, the work plan uses AI to suggest what your team members and yourself could be working on that particular day. So as I mentioned, by default, when you log in, you will land on the work plan. And the first thing that you're going to see is the AI suggested work, right? So Lepsta will go through all your collections, all your folders, and pick up what is important for you to focus on the day based on priority, based on due dates, and based on maybe engagement on that particular task, right? So it will bring them up here, but these are just suggestions. So what you have to do next is basically commit to what you want to work on based on your hours, right? So you can tell Lepsta to say, hey, today I only have 7 hours. Please suggest work that I can work on within those given hours, right? So Lepsta will pull those tasks, and all you have to do is click on commit, and you'll see everything that I click goes on top there. And so this is basically a way for you to start working on these committed tasks, right? So now, one important thing that you mention as a requirement for your organization is the time, right? Time tracking. So with Lepsta, you can do that. For instance, what you're looking at here is basically an indication of how long it took for the tasks to be completed. Someone can estimate to say, I think, from the beginning of the planning session, they can say, I think this will take me 3 hours to do, right? And once they're done with the task, they can come back and say, all right, actually this task took me 5 hours, right? And update it, and then everyone will have that visibility. So now, if perhaps let's say your task is on review, right? You can leave notes by clicking this note item over here, and basically leave an update in terms of how far you are with the task and why it's still on the status, right? Right. So now, instead of picking up a call and asking someone how far they are with this task, you can just come over here and have an understanding of their latest update. Furthermore, you can go inside the stream and ask questions, right? There's a thread here. You can create a thread and say, right? And the owner of the stream will get the notification. They'll come back and reply. So basically, you can create a thread over here, a conversation, right? And if you need more information, you can tell your team to basically capture the details of each task over here, right? We have different options here, different heading sizes, checklists, and so forth, right? So let's say you want to provide information about the task. Right, and they can provide proof of delivery by attaching documents and so forth, right? So this is where you can engage with your team inside this stream, and inside of, or maybe on the notes section over here, right? So now what you're looking at here, this is the day view, or the work that you'll be doing for that particular day. And also you can have a view of your team members, right? To see what they're currently working on. You'll see what is assigned to them, the important tasks that they could be focusing on, and you can check other people if they have nothing assigned to them. You can actually even ask them to maybe recommend some tasks for them to work on, right? So that's where the visibility comes in, right? And you can go to the weekly view to get an understanding of first your work, how is your work planned throughout the whole week, or other weeks coming, and so forth. And you can still filter by other people to see what they have planned for that week, right? Just going back to current user right now. So this one is very important, the weekly view, because now you can come here and look at the task that you haven't started and click on these three dots over here and say, all right, I think I'm going to work on this on a couple of days, tomorrow and maybe next week, right? So it shows over here that this task has been committed between today, tomorrow, and on the 25th. So basically, it spreads it across your calendar view. And at a glance, you can already have an understanding of how things are going. If you have less greens, it means you have fewer tasks that you've completed, right? So if you have a review, maybe there's things that still need other people's attention, right? So these ones are tasks that you're still working on. So the color codes actually help you also understand how things are looking. And as Excellent mentioned yesterday, that once you commit to a task, it gets frozen in time. Basically, the user can't remove it from the calendar. So you'll be able to roll back into history and see what they've been working on, and they basically can't move it. They can't make any changes on it, right? But they can maybe change the status of the task to say, I'm done working on it, right? They can do that, but they can't remove it from the calendar. So that really helps to see, the work distribution across your team members. So yes, at a glance, this is how the work plan looks like. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those. Also, in addition, we are currently working on an assistant, which is basically going to help you answer some questions very quickly, right? So, for instance, you can come over here and ask Lepsta to basically show you how many tasks you've completed so far, or maybe it can draw a graph for you for the work that you've completed and the work that is still outstanding. So let's have a look how it looks. Oh, sorry about that. Work completed. This is work review versus not started. So basically, unlike other tools that are out there which give you graphs off the shelf and you can't change anything about it, with Lepsta you can basically tell it to say, hey, please draw a bar graph for me, or draw a line graph for me showing these kind of things, right? So here it is. You can basically have an understanding of how things are looking in your team, and maybe you can ask Lepsta, what you want, what you should work on. Right? It will still, pick important tasks that you can work on, and then you can decide to commit on it or not. So this is a feature that we haven't deployed yet, but we are quite excited about it because it's gonna solve a lot of problems in terms of work distribution. Yeah. So thank you for your time.